Hey guys, I want to show you the Waldorf Blofeld and the Maschine Studio and how they work together. This kind of works with any external synthesizer, but specifically I'm dealing with the Blofeld on this one. So to start, it doesn't require a ton. You already have to have an external sound card of some kind to get sounds out of Maschine, I guess, unless you're running out of like a laptop headphone port or something, but always good to have an audio interface. I am using the Focusrite Saffire Pro 40 firewire audio interface, so it gives me a ton of inputs and outputs to use. So I'm using one of the inputs on the Blofeld. I think I'm using stereo input 3 on this guy. And then as far as MIDI goes, you just need a single MIDI cable running from the Maschine Studio to the Blofeld. You then go into the routing and just set all that up. What's really cool, with the 2.6 update of Maschine, they gave some external instrument profiles, and you can build your own pretty easily. So I've gone in and built a Blofeld one. So the way this works is you look at the MIDI implementation chart for the synthesizer, and every synthesizer comes with it. It just tells you what MIDI CC channels are doing what. And then you can assign the Maschine Studio knobs to control different aspects. So on this one I have one set on the mod wheel. I have a filter 1 cutoff, filter 1 resonance, filter 2 cutoff, filter 2 resonance, the filter 1 and 2 envelope amount, ring mod, the LFO stuff. So just basic functions that I thought would be fun to be able to automate. So now with Maschine Studio, you can control your outboard hardware just like you would a plugin, which is really neat. So I have a drum loop from the Halcyon Sky kit, or Maschine expansion. I have the Tinker kit running at 120, so it's just this. And then I'm running the Maschine Studio on chord mode. So and this is just a lead sound from the Blofeld, but it's super easy to work with this and record your sounds from an external synthesizer like the Blofeld. And we can look at some of the other sounds. Let's see. That's wild. That's kind of neat. Just using the arpeggiator from Maschine Studio to trigger that. Some great sounds on this little thing, but it works really well with Maschine Studio like you would expect. So I'll just do, I'm gonna do a lead sound here. See, it gets really loud on some of these patches, so you gotta keep an eye on your levels. So if I wanted to record something with this and use the Blofeld in a song, that's pretty simple. So I'll make a pattern. Let's see. That's fine. then I can go in and mess with mod wheels and stuff. If I wanted to record some of that, it's pretty easy. Record auto. So it's pretty easy to automate an external synthesizer, and the Blofeld's very cool. Just running a lead sound on a factory sound bank there, or a Halcyon Sky sound bank. So if you want to do, if you want to add this stuff to a song, you have to sample. So Maschine Studio, when it's exporting sounds, it will do samples, but it won't play your external synth and export that as part of a track. So you always have to sample everything. What I do is I usually create a new, or I just stick it on a new sound. So let's see. So in my group, the first sound is Blofeld. I'm just gonna make sound 2. I'm gonna call it sample. And then you go to your sampling mode, and then you pick your source. And in this case, we're using external stereo input 3, 2 or 3. Let's see. Yeah, input 3, and we'll do mode sync, and we're gonna do length 4 bars. So then you just start. So we have our sample. I'm going to go ahead and normalize it just to make sure, because I normalize everything. Then you can go ahead and mute your Blofeld, and we'll just trigger this. I'm adding a trigger at the very beginning of the bar, the first bar. I'm doing this with a mouse and keyboard, so you may not be able to see it. But let's see, I'm just making the sampler to polyphony 1 voice and the pitch envelope from ASDR to 1 shot. So when it hits, it's just going to trigger that sample. So there's our sample. Just like that, and it'll continue to play. So that's kind of the final thing you do before you export a track when you're using external synthesizers. So doing it this way, you still have the original MIDI notes, and you can still play your synthesizer. But I hope that's helpful. The Blofeld, it's a really good addition to Maschine Studio. I like using it a lot. Use it in a lot of tracks. Take it easy.